Manchester United take on Everton on Saturday. The early kickoff. We haven't had one of these in a while, I don't think. Everton are not in good form. They are in relegation form. But Manchester United, after the humbling against City last week, after the humiliation the week before against Fulham, there's question marks. There's always been question marks around this team all season long. Who will start up front instead of Rasmus Hojlund? That's the big question that a lot of you want an answer for. Spoiler alert. I don't think there really is a right one. I'm going to run through what I think. Taking a look at the starting 11, taking a look at the team news from Erik Ten Hag at his pre-match press conference. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, please do subscribe if you're new to United People's TV. Let's get into this one. And as I said, let's start talking about the team news. A couple of good bits of injury news. Johnny Evans and Marcus Rashford, both fit for this game. They both went off against Manchester City, but that looks like that was more precautionary rather than reactionary. So both of those are going to be available. Players not available, you can see there. Harry Maguire not available, Wan-Bissaka not available, and Hojlund not available. But crucially, as Erik Ten Hag is writing there, all three of them are expected to be fit for the FA Cup quarter-final against Liverpool at Old Trafford next weekend. And what a huge boost it would be for all three of those. Mason Mount looks like he's going to be back after the international break, so he might be back for... Who do we have after the international break? Is it Chelsea? I think we played Chelsea and I think we play Liverpool at the start of April at home in the League 2. Maybe Mason Mount will be back for that. But let's run through the team, okay? In fact, let's take a quick look at this, right? Because, honestly, Everton's form is awful. Like, absolutely awful. They haven't won a game in any competition. Look, they've got lost against West Ham, drew against Brighton, drew against Everton, lost against City, drew against Spurs, drew against Fulham, lost against Luton, beat Crystal Palace in an FA Cup third round replay before they then lost against Luton. You have to go back, I believe, to the 16th of December for the last time they got a win in the Premier League. It's not going well for Everton and Sean Dyche. Absolutely not. I actually just took a little listen to Baz on Toffee TV, and it's like they're not talking about whether or not it's Sean Dyche should be sacked, but it's certainly not positive for them. It's not particularly positive for us either, right? Erik Ten Hag here is saying, look, the project's going in the right direction when we had the right players available. I don't think any United fan would disagree with that. The problem is we haven't had the right players available all season, and therefore it's not been going in the right direction all season. And then when we had Shaw and Martinez back for a couple of games, never mind. The right players will not be available for Erik Ten Hag. So what he has to do is get this team not playing like bloody relegation candidates against the likes of Fulham at Old Trafford. Like, Fulham didn't just beat us. Like, that game, in my opinion, was more damaging to Erik Ten Hag than the loss against City was. Losing 3-1 away at City? I mean, loads of you would have predicted that. I predicted us to lose. But getting schooled by Fulham at Old Trafford, not so much. Now, in terms of the starting 11, a player who is definitely growing in confidence in a United shirt, and importance, actually, in 2024, is Andre Onana. He was very good against City. He's been pretty good in all of this year since he's been returned from the AFCON. And the fact that no one's really speaking about Onana is indicative of a goalkeeper doing his job properly. When a goalkeeper is playing well, you hardly have to have a talking... He's never really a talking point. If a goalkeeper's either a talking point, it's because he's done something incredible or he's just made a huge mistake. I don't think Onana's really done much of either. He's just kind of been down the middle. Apart from at City, as I said, where I think he really was one of our players in the match. We wasn't really saying much considering we lost 3-1. But he definitely starts. Now, I think the biggest question for this game is around Diogo Dalot. Now, if Johnny Evans is fit, then Johnny Evans should be keeping his spot at left centre-back. And I think Varane will keep his spot there too. Again, fitness dependent. So I don't really think there's too many questions to ask about our centre-back positions because, mate, who else are you going to play there? Maguire's not fit. He's just said he's not fit. Well, we know Martinez isn't going to be back for a while yet. The questions are around fullbacks. Now, please, I feel like I'm begging at this point. Please do not play Lindelof at left back, Erik Ten Hag. And then comes the questions about what is the solution, because it's either Dalot plays at right back and Amrabat plays at left back, which I actually think could be a possibility. Everton, as I said, they haven't won in the Premier League since the middle of December. They haven't won in 10 games. They haven't won anything in the last 7. They are not a team in form. So therefore, we should be going into this with a degree of confidence that we're going to have more of the ball, have more of possession, and therefore playing Amrabat at left back is going to be less of a danger to our defence. as playing Amrabat as a left back against City, for example. The alternative to that would be to play Dalot at left back and put in Cambuala as right back, which could also happen. I think it's one of those two things. But just the one I do not want to see is Lindelof at left back. Please. Please. As seriously, it feels like I'm begging at this point. He is just not the answer there. And Cambuala, as I said, you might get him there at right back and you might get Dalot at left back. It's one of those two. That's what I want to see. I do not want to see Lindelof at left back. I think the midfield three picks itself, really. I don't think Casemiro's been in incredible form all season, and neither do I think Bruno's been in incredible form. I think of the three players there, Mainu is the one that's had the most impressive season. Just one goal of the month, by the way. Any excuse to go and watch that. I just made a really weird noise there. Any excuse to go and watch that goal again against Wolves, go and watch it. I sat there for like 3 minutes earlier just watching it on repeat. Ridiculous. He'll start in midfield. I think Casemiro will start in midfield. I think Bruno will start in midfield. I honestly think that midfield picks itself. You could, if you wanted to, put McTominay in there. I don't really know why you put McTominay in there. You want McTominay for the goal threat from the bench or from the goal for the goal threat from the starting 11, because I think that's the biggest question about this starting 11 is how do you go about replacing a striker who is in this current team is completely irreplaceable. We don't have another goal scorer of the likes. Rashford is not a centre-forward. McTominay is not a centre-forward. Bruno is not a centre-forward. Anthony is not a centre-forward. Neither is Garnacho. Martial is made of biscuits, say every week. Digestives? Bourbons? Probably like a little custard cream. That's what I'd say. Anyway, moving back to the players. Hojlund's not going to be available for this game. Now, I put McTominay up there as a sort of false nine. That's what I wanted to see against City. It didn't really work out that way. It kind of ended up being Manchester United playing in pretty much like a 4-4-2, wasn't it? This is what it kind of ended up like against City, but we ended up playing like a little bit deeper as well. That's pretty much what it ended up sitting like, but we were almost kind of backed into our own half. I don't think that same thing will happen in this game, and nor do I think it should. I think we will operate with our wingers, Rashford and Garnacho, in their more traditional positions. Further up the pitch, I think United will and should be more aggressive in this game, but it's where you think Rashford will play. Do you think he'll play centre-forward? Type it in the comments. I think he probably will. Remember, this is a predicted 11, not necessarily what I would want to see. I think we'll see... I think we'll see this. Right, I think we'll see McTominay on the bench. I think we'll see Rashford through the middle. I think we'll see Garnacho come over to the left. And I think we'll see Anthony over on the right. By the way, Forson is injured for this game, so he's not unavailable, and Hojlund's unavailable as well. So the only other person you could put in is Ahmad, who has been completely overlooked. Like Garnacho's, I think, now started 24 consecutive games for United. I think he will start. I would rather see Garnacho start on that right wing, where I think he's been so incredibly effective for United. But as Ten Hag showed against Fulham, he's fine with moving all the players around, even though it's not the right thing to do. I don't want to see this. All right? I want to see Garnacho on the right. I want to see Rashford on the left. And I want to see McTominay as a false nine. I stand by what I said for Fulham. I stand by what I said against City, neither of which happened. And I would like to see it in this game too, but I don't think I will. And I think we'll see Anthony come out on the right-hand side. And I'll be like, just make something happen, please. Please. Again, it feels like I'm begging at this point. I hope he does. I have no idea whether he will. Now, in terms of the prediction, right? There was a prediction that came in quite a few times in the live show this morning, and I think I'm going to agree with it. I think 3-1. Everton are a team in relegation form. No wins in the league since the middle of December. No wins in any fixture in the last 7. Yeah, we're not in great form. I mean, yeah, our last 2 games have been poor. But we should be dismissing Everton in this current... Everton at Old Trafford. It always reminds me, what was it, that 4-4 game under Fergie? I think, was it with Fergie? No, it wasn't Fergie. Was it? No, I think it was. Yeah, because Fellaini scored against us, the bastard. Oh, I remember that game. Was that the year we lost it on goal difference? Anyway, getting PTSD here. I'm going for 3-1. That team is not what I would like to see. I would like to see Rashford playing on the left, Garnacho playing on the right, McTominay is almost like a false 9, get the ball up to him, let it control it down, pass it back to Bruno, feed it in for those 2 and let McTominay crash to the edge of the box. That's what I want to see. But Ten Hag, he looks at things differently. What's your prediction? Mine's 3-1. That's my start 11. Let me know in the comments.